think it's really fantastic to recognise the project and to recognise the project externally with an award. I think is a really wonderful thing. Really recognising the sustainable credentials of the project, and obviously really building that momentum now towards the new building and the wider site going live from spring next year. So Betteshanger Sustainable Parks, we're located on the site of the former Betteshanger Colliery. It's a huge site for those of you who don't know it. It's just outside of Deal in East Kent. The Betteshanger Colliery closed in 1989, and really the site's been largely unused since the closure. And this project, it's an economic and social regeneration scheme, really aiming to bring the site to life through commercial, educational activities, and through the creation of a new tourist and tourism destination. So the project is funded through a variety of public sources: Homes and Communities Agency, Coastal Communities Fund, Heritage Lottery Fund, and East Kent Spatial Development Company. They're the key and core funders. And ultimately the project's being funded from this variety of sources because of the various angles and impacts that it's going to have. So from regeneration, creating jobs, bringing inward investment into the local area, through to Heritage Lottery, whereby we're securing the mining heritage and Kent's mining heritage and the legacy of it. I think that's absolutely essential. I think if this project fails to recognise its energy heritage and the mining heritage, I think the connection with the sustainable energies, now green energy future, doesn't really make sense. And I think it's bringing those two together that really gives us something outstanding at Betteshanger. The Kent Mining Museum, which will form part of the scheme, it's a fantastic development. It's going to be, as I say, a new visitor attraction in Kent. We're anticipating up to 150,000 visitors per annum once the scheme is up and running. And really, as I say, bringing inward investment and regeneration to a deprived part of the county and a deprived part of the country, in fact. So we're based on the site of it's currently called Falmead Country Park. Within the country park, we've got fantastic access to cycling facilities, road cycling, mountain biking, but with some really temporary facilities. And this project essentially replaces those facilities with a really state-of-the-art, fantastic building that's going to ultimately transform the visitor experience. So as you've mentioned, the Mining Museum, there will also be a new cycling centre, conferencing, catering, and green energy centre, and it's really about juxtaposing our energy past against our green energy future.
Well, we've taken on the concept design, which has been worked through very closely with the client and the previous architects, and our job is to deliver it within the budget, technically, to maintain the robustness of the design and to ensure that all the details are worked out and able to be built by Dixon. I suppose as an architect I'd like to think that all of my projects, it's critical. Sustainability is always up there in the DNA. It's tremendous to be involved in a project like this where it's at the heart of the building, and the fact that Betteshanger Sustainable Parks is going to grow much bigger than this initial visitor centre is tremendous, and we'll be able to show just what can be delivered. The fact that we have the main energy centre at the start will show people how we can deliver low energy in a building. The construction techniques that we'll be using are simple, sustainable, and again I hope will be shown to be exemplary in the format of this building and others. In terms of the wider sustainability, to give the confidence to show what can happen in what was an area of desolation when the pit closed is tremendous. The fact that we are respecting the heritage, encouraging the heritage through the museum will be great. There will be local employment through a commitment by Dixon in terms of local trades. The fact that we are a local architect is tremendous, I was so excited when I saw this project announced. Wished I was part of it, and here I am. So I hope that the economy is already seen to be the busiest, or one of the busiest, children's play facilities in the area, and backed on with the bike trails in the park will, I'm sure, only develop in the future through the building. I believe it's July next 2016. I think that's the objective. Duncan will be able to tell you more on that, but that's the objective. We're all working really hard at the moment to develop some of the systems that have to be incorporated within the building to make it deliver the sustainability that it wants. So we know the end date that we're aiming for, so we're all trying to get the work done.
Wilmot Dixon is, we like to think, one of the market leaders in sustainability and providing sustainable buildings. It's not just about the ecological impact of the building. All of our projects throughout the country, we always like to try and leave a lasting legacy in the local community. We like to become part of the local community. We like to help local schools and businesses integrate in with the works that we're doing on our sites. We have a real local buzz going on about the projects. Lots of educational projects going on with the local schools. We also like to provide local employment opportunities through Job Centre Plus, through other government-sponsored departments, and also through the local community and the businesses in that community. We'll have 70% of our businesses of the project spend will be within a 20-mile radius of the project. So it's a very sustainable project indeed. We will be, on this scheme, we'll be sponsoring through our supply chain 6 to 7 apprenticeships within the local area. Not necessarily directly on this project all the way through, because they will be trade specific, so the times that they will be on this scheme, but they'll also be on a number of our other schemes. There will be a large proportion, 70% of subcontractors will be from within a 20-mile radius of where the scheme is. And there will be a huge job opportunity, training opportunities. We will have open days where we will have certain of our suppliers, like Wavin, will come in and do demonstrations and training sessions for the local community, which will enhance their educational and opportunity for work going forward. One specifically, Wavin are going to be working with ourselves to resolve, which is the rainwater collection on the gutters. With a traditional system, the section was getting too large, and because it's a fairly low building with public access in and out, the actual section of the gutter was getting too large to have a traditional system. So Wavin, with their siphonic drainage system, are going to be assisting with us to design that and resolve the depth issue, because it can be a perfectly flat gutter all the way along a 180-metre long building. And resolves all of our issues.
We've been involved with the project since the very start, the concept, when it was an enormous visitor centre and park. We're now working on the phase, this is the first phase, which is the visitor centre of the park, and we're doing the sustainability and M&E for the project. In terms of water supply, we're trying to reduce water usage throughout development, so that's the use of low flow taps, dual flush cisterns and water meters to ensure that we know exactly how much water we're using on site. In terms of rainwater runoff, we're trying to reuse the water that falls on the site. For example, the roof, all water falling on the roof will try and be used in the front of the water feature, or to be saved and used in the cycle wash scheme. Hopefully we want to have no water runoff from this project. We're trying to achieve it on this project. Firstly, we've aimed to have as low energy consumption as possible. We achieve this through using a few passive design measures. The building is naturally ventilated with cross ventilation through most of the areas, high and low level openings. This should just mean that we should get a good level of ventilation through all the spaces and some cooling in the summertime. From that, we've used good building envelope values to reduce the heating demand, trench heaters to help heat the spaces, and the heating itself is fueled by biomass boilers, hopefully with wood sourced on site. Also, we've tried to include photovoltaic panels on the roof to generate electricity on site, and we have solar hot water thermal heaters to help collect energy from the sun and use it to heat the water.